Welcome to today's workshop. We are going to be talking about new AI ranking formula. And as you guys are all seeing in the pest control space, the way your customers look for you is changing, right? Some patterns are starting to emerge. And I think it's really important that as home service companies that are making a large investment in marketing, whether that is SEO or paid search or other advertising strategies, that you are really showing up where your customers are looking. And so while everybody is getting logged in, if you could just let me know in the chat, if you think about like where most of your leads are coming in your company today, drop that in the chat. Is it from organic? Is it from a search engine optimization? Is it from local service ads? Is it from Google ads? Or is it from referrals, word of mouth, maybe local community engagement? Just let me know in the chat. That way we can get a little bit of a dialogue going on where most of your lead flow is coming from today. And also I won't feel that I'm talking to myself. So Dania says word of mouth, Mark says LSA and Google ads. Good. Brandon says SEO location page, Groupon and customer referrals. Groupon is interesting. This is the first time that I'm hearing Groupon. Thank you, Brandon. I learned something from you today too. So I'm going to dive right into our session here today. I did put together a great workbook for this, which you may like to take a look at it after the webinar. So I'm going to talk big picture and I'm going to show some examples and I'm going to show case studies. But you like sometimes you want to get into the details and you want the checklist. I'm a checklist person, so I like to do everything with checklists, Excel's checklist. And so you want all the other stuff. So I did put together for you. If you want to download that, you can go to digitalkarma.com/AI-ranking that workbook. And Hazel on my team, if you could just drop that into the chat for everybody, so that would be, super helpful. And before we start, as we think about AI and really search engine optimization as it relates to AI rankings and AI results, this fits into the bigger picture of growing your pest control company. And we have what we call our accelerated growth model, which are the key things you need to put in place and you need to be tracking towards to generate accelerated growth. So in order to have accelerated growth, we need to, first drive leads. We have to have a strategy to get the phone ringing and to get the online bookings, to get the online chats. Then we have to maximize conversion to convert these interested prospects into inquiries, and those inquiries into book jobs, and those book jobs into repeat recurring customers that refer us to others. So in that case, we can also expand our word of mouth. And then we got to optimize the results. We got to figure out for where we are spending our money and where we are spending not only money, also our effort, our time, and where we are spending our attention, what is actually generating the results, and really focus on the return on investment. Okay, Hazel already shared the book, a call and ranking workbook. Okay. And this piece of driving leads, the number one pillar, the number one piece of that strategy is organic. So we got organic, we got paid, and we got the database marketing. Today, we are going to focus on is the organic side of the equation. And how do we get the people that are looking for us without having to pay on, per click basis, or without having to pay on a lead basis, like local service ads. But again, it's just a one piece of overall strategy that we need to think about in order to maximize your lead flow, in order to maximize the results online. Before we start, I have a couple of house rules. So housekeeping things. If you could mute, actually, I muted all of you, I guess. So we're going to have a two-way interaction with the chat. And let's, give this your undivided attention for the next 45 minutes. This is the latest and the greatest on what's going on, how to rank on AI, how to come up in AI. And I personally have invested with my team a lot of time and energy sitting in seminars, sitting in webinars, personally researching across our network, of several pest control companies to figure out what are the latest trends, what is actually working in today's market. And so let's give this as our attention so you can, have the competitive advantage of that information. So today we are going to talk about what we are going to cover is kind of key things that I want to, make sure that we will unpack today. Latest change in Google algorithm, because I really think Google is still where it is at. Google is still the king, and it also has Google AI review in itself, and also how AI answer engines and AI, AEO are shaking up the marketplace, and how we are seeing some of Google's market share specifically for these services shifting to other places that we want to be aware of, that we want to focus on, and the things that you may have put in place in the past that are actually maybe hurting your ability to rank in Google as well as get recommended on AI search results, and then how to optimize using the new AI AEO or AI ranking formula. So for those of you that don't know my name is Faye Cebi. I'm the founder of Dijital Karma. I have the opportunity to work with literally tens of pest control companies in some of the most competitive markets, I think, in the US over the years. And so what I'm going to share with you isn't based on theory. It is not based on a blog post or a YouTube video I watch. It's based on the latest information that I'm also getting that from with my team, from our customers, and then actually what we are seeing, working for the clients that we have the opportunity to serve. And this is what we do day in and day out. And we have been working for pest control industry over more than 5 years. We are an associate member of NPMA, National Pest Management Association. We attend every each event. Why we are doing that is we want to understand the industry. So we know their unique challenge, unique struggles, what pest control businesses face, not only from marketing perspective, but also from HR perspective. I know it's really hard to find a good technician and also to train a good technician or wildlife technician. So it also takes time for us to understand the industry. And currently we manage nearly 60 home service and development accounts nationwide. So several clients have achieved over $1 million in, plus million in revenue growth while working with us. So, and last thing before we start, of course, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks and maybe a little bit deeper information, technical information. But if at that point, any point you're like, you know what, say, I would love for you to take a look at what we are doing today, or show us how you might be able to help us implement these strategies to get better results, we would love the opportunity to do that for you. And of course, it's complimentary evaluation, and we will kind of show you here is what is good, and here is where there is room for improvement. And if you ever want to schedule that, you just go to digitalkarma.com/book a call. I think Hazel already put it on the chat. And yeah. So without further ado, when somebody needed a pest control company, they were going to Google, right? And they are typing in pest control near me, or pest control in my service area, or pest control company XYZ city. And this is what comes up on Google today. If you run, search for pest control in cluster, first you see local service ads, then another sponsor ad, then map results. So first one, either the first one or the last one in the map results. So there will be 4-pack is also sponsored. That means LSA. So these three captured icon, which is our customer, tap out. These are the organic results. And then comes organic results too. So when you make a search, this is what you see on Google. Also, in the organic results, first you see the Yelp listings. So this has been like this for the last 10 to 15 years. Actually, for the last 1 year, before a year ago, there wasn't NSA, local sources, Google Guarantee rankings on top. It used to be only Google Ads, but for the past year, It is now local service ads. So, and like that, just where people looked, okay? And that was where the 80 to 20 principle say that is where you need to focus. Today's market, there is now more and more people using generated search engine tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and like Gemini, right? Gemini is the product of Google also. They're actually using these tools to search. So as an example, they're not going to say pest control in XYZ city. They communicate with ChatGPT. And so they're actually using these tools to search for deeper knowledge. So like, hey, I need pest control company in the cluster area. Who would you recommend? And hitting the send button. And now it's serving results. So here are the results. And Capture Pest Control, Titan Pest Control, Pestex, Twinboro, and other trusted companies. So, and data is taken from Better Business Bureau, not from their website. It's sometimes the data is from a listing like Better Business Bureau, or sometimes it is taking the data from their own website. So ChatGPT is still using websites, companies' websites as a source. So, and they're coming up here organic in the map listing, and they're coming up on ChatGPT here as a recommended company. So now we need also be thinking about how do we do rank in that? And I'm going to be talking about that today. And also, it's not as simple as just everything you have always done from an SEO perspective carrying over. There's very specific citation sources, very specific schema markup, which is a very technical thing on. So all schema markups should be on your side. And the way you answer questions, that gives you a higher probability of coming up on ChatGPT for those kinds of results. But we are seeing clients, and you might not think, okay, this is happening, but we are seeing clients get actual clicks, get actual calls, get actual leads from people looking on ChatGPT in today's market. And I truly believe that trend is going to increase. There is going to be more and more people asking their AI engine of choice, ChatGPT or Perplexity or Cloud, and looking for the answer and bypassing Google and bypassing these other platforms. So zero-click search. But I would say more common than the ChatGPT search is right now what we call zero-click search, which is referred to as Google AI overviews, which is when you search on Google and Google, instead of serving a website, they summarize the answer and they give you the answer right there in zero-click search results. So let me give you an example for the weather forecast. Okay, I'm going to go to digital marketing training next week in Florida. So I asked that question, what is the weather forecast for Miami, Florida? So this area is zero-click search. There's no link where you can click. What I'm trying to show you here is, in the past, I would have clicked the weather channel and I would have gone to that site and I would have gotten the information that I was looking for, and that would have gotten to Pixelme, and they would have gotten the traffic from that search. And in today's market, Google through search overviews is literally summarizing what they found on these other sites, and they are putting it right at the top. This is called an Google AI review, and that impacts the search volume. It impacts the traffic that is going to these clients' websites. So how does that apply to your pest control company? In their case, so this zero-click part is taking some of the traffic of these websites, which have been there for the last 10, 15, 20 years. In their case, this resulted in a reduction in traffic, right? So obviously their traffic over the last 6 months, we can see the public source. It used to be, the weather website traffic is like 276 million. Now it is 184 million. All these traffic goes to zero-click now. So your customers are typing in very specific directional-based questions like how to get rid of ants in kitchen. Is quarterly pest control really necessary? Or I know the behavior of the customer is always one-time job and thinks that, okay, I get rid of all these ants. But you need to inform that it is a recurring work? So quarterly pest control really necessary? Or they may ask, can I just call when I see bugs? Is it better to trap rodents or seal the house to prevent them altogether? And in the past, by having great content on your website was enough for coming up for that. And you got the traffic, you got the ability to pixel them, you got the opportunity to retarget them again. And ideally, you got the opportunity to get that lead and get that call. But Google is doing the same thing with AI overviews here. It is still working for, there is no Google AI review for pest control in XYZ cities. But when consumers are asking deep knowledge about, like, to get rid of ants in kitchen, like here, whatever you see first is AI overview. So you can see, there's a big explanation. You can use several methods. And so we have a little bit of this going on for the long tail terms. And this isn't happening right now if you type in pest control near me or best pest control company in my city. But it is for more information gathering type search results, consumers will get Google AI reviews. So we do want to be in that conversation for those results. We are talking about what does it take to come up in the AI overview and how do we capitalize on that opportunity, even they don't end up clicking through to our website. So some specific things we can do in those cases. So same thing with how to get rid of bed bugs. We would like to be in that conversation with our information. And we are going to talk about also how to get your website listed on, Google overviews and also ChatGPT answer. That is really AI SEO as I see it. We talk about how to build your brand. We talk about how to build your authority for AI powered results basics. And I will do some advanced stuff as well. And some really cool things that we are seeing, as we nerd out on this topic. And then I will unpack the new AI ranking formula for home services, like the very specific tactical things we can do, day in and day out on the website, off the website to improve the probability of coming up in those types of results. So I want to preface this, but by just making it clear that I'm, saying I think there's an opportunity here with AI. There's an opportunity to come up in AI recommended results, but I also don't want, you to freak out. Okay, hey, like all my SEO stuff is a waste of time and I don't know what that means. Here is the reality. Google AI overviews in YouTube combined have 13 billion views on Google and 16 billion searches per day on YouTube. So that is the Google ecosystem that we all have built, our house on until now. And ChatGPT has about 1.1 billion searches per day, which is only about 5% of that search volume. And more important than that is the commercial intent for most people searching on Google is, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for an answer. I'm looking for a source. I'm looking for a provider. So most ChatGPT searches aren't that, right? So they're asking questions. They are doing provider. They're giving information. And so consumers are finding detailed information in ChatGPT. So I would say it's not even 5% right now. It's probably about 1% of Google's actual search volume. So don't sleep on Google. Don't feel like, hey, this Google stuff is no longer important, because it is definitely, and what you have done until now, it still works. And it still works also for answer engine optimization. And if you want to be more granular, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but Google with these 96 billion visits, YouTube with 42 billion visits. And after that, you got Facebook, Instagram, and then down here at 4 million, you got ChatGPT. So again, just by contrast, I don't want you to freak out. So we can say SEO is not dead, and we can say Google still is the king. Again, we go to Google right now, and so I want to try something. We Google right now and we type in your city plus pest control or wildlife removal or rodent removal, where most of the people are searching. So what we got is local services still at very top. And Then we got Google Maps below that, and then we got the organic search results. So the latest data tells us still 71% of the clicks are going to the organic listings. They are going to the map. They are going to the organic results. So 67 going to the first 5 listings. And this is a study that was done by Moz. You can check Moz, by the way. It's a great SEO tool. And tactically speaking, there's a very specific things we want to do on our website to make sure we come up. So I've got an example here. So this is one of our customers, Titan Pest Control. It's in North Bergen in New Jersey, cluster in New Jersey, Bergen County. So when I search for pest control cluster New Jersey, they always show up in organic results on the maps because we have been working with that company for SEO, I think almost 3 years. And they come up organically. If we ask ChatGPT, who are some of the best pest control companies in Cluster, New Jersey, they are also recommended by ChatGPT. So it comes on top in the results. And what ChatGPT responds with is going to, vary. It's going to vary based on your past preferences. It's going to vary where you are asking from. The location also affects that. And so I can tell you definitely this is the only answer that comes up. But I can say that in search, we are done from different multiple APIs and from different computers. So the company comes in really well in these types of search results. So, but I want to show you the data and what we are doing with them. So this is most recent results from their account. So there's invest 2,000 in online marketing per month only for SEO. And so that's their investment with us for our services also together with our services and all the SEO work. So what does that net to in terms of leads? So we track 225 leads per month. And if you divide that out to about 8.67 per lead. Really, what I want you to focus on is where are those leads coming from? All are coming from organic calls, Google Map calls, and web form from organic. So what I'm trying to say is the same thing. Yes, SEO still matters. Yes, your Google Maps still matters. Yes, your Google reviews still matters. But there is an evolutional terminology here. We hear the term AEO, we hear the term GEO, and it's always been referred to as SEO. And so I just want to break these terms down for you and make sure we are all, on the same page. What does this mean? And what are we referring to? Still people are coming. All right. So AEO is answer engine optimization. So when we think about an answer engine, that would be tools that you would ask and speak to, like Siri, Alexa. Those are your traditional answer engines. And then you got GEO, which is generative engine optimization, which is the large language models that serve results like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, and a lot of these tools are emerging. Obviously, ChatGPT is at the top of that right now. But at the end of the day, in terms of marketing, we just want to make sure we're coming where our customer looks. And I'm going to say, I like to use that word. I'm going to say search everywhere optimization, which is, let's just make sure we come up in Google. We come up in Google AI reviews. Let's make sure we come up in ChatGPT. Let's make sure we come up in Perplexity and where our customers are looking. We want to be the predominant answer that, has earned the right to show up and to get the attention and to get the opportunity to solve their problem and to be their vendor of choice. Maybe we don't need to be on Perplexity as much as ChatGPT. So I will show the details with you. So I would like to ask you, how do you come up? I want to do an example. So this would be a great time. So I'm just going to give you guys a couple of minutes here on a separate browser. Pull up Google and type in your city plus, whatever your main service is. Pull up ChatGPT and ask it like, who would you recommend for the service in this particular market? So do the same thing maybe in at least one more platform. Let's say just, Google Gemini just a quick sec. I want you to run a couple of those searches on your end. Let us know ranking, not ranking. So let's see how does it look. Let's make it a little bit interactive. I need to find the chat here. All right, let me open the chat. Okay. Let's see. So we can also do the example together with you. Let me share my screen, my Gemini with you. All right. Before I start, I did the same thing for Titan. And let's also do this pest control, Gloucester, New Jersey. Let's have it here also. Okay. So we see Titan here as organic results, and we also see it here. Let's take this out as ChatGPT results. And also I can see I live in Gloucester, New Jersey. I'm looking for a pest control company. Who would you recommend? So I ask a detailed question and give detailed information. You try it on your end. All right, let me see. Let me find the chat also here. What's that? Okay. I just quickly tried Google Gemini and we didn't even show up. Okay. Heather, let's try this, okay? Why? Let's ask question to Gemini. We can say, why am I? So we check for Google, we check for Gemini, we check for ChatGPT, and let's ask, how would I get my company to come up higher for these results, okay? How do I get my company to come up higher for these results? Let's copy also. We will ask that question to ChatGPT. Let's see what's going on. Can you see my screen, by the way? Can you see my search results on Gemini and ChatGPT? Oh, sorry. Yes, okay. So here we go. What are they saying to me? Let's check first ChatGPT, Google Maps, local package, everything. So when people search locally, 70 or 80% of clicks go to Google Map results. That is what I just told you. 70% of the clicks go to Google Maps results. So your Google Maps optimization is very important. Still, your maps is important because also maps results goes to ChatGPT results. And your primary category, I'm sure you all have the same pest control service, but you must add secondary categories if you are providing these services like termite control or wildlife control. Reviews are the number one first ranking factors. So not only you have to have good amount of reviews, also you have to have a detailed review. So you need to little bit push your customer to give you detailed reviews, like with the pest name, town name, service name, and location page. We will also go deeply on that page. But if you are a local company, if you are providing service in a county, you should have separate location page on your website for these specific cities. So why Titan is popping up on ranking on top for ChatGPT? Because they have a specific page for cluster and for all the other counties they are serving, county page and also city page. And consistent business info on the web. So all the citations, all name, address, and phone number should be aligned on each platform, all listings, all citations, all aggregators, all social media accounts, websites. So they should be same. So strong brand mentions. Also, you need to provide educational content and authority signals. Local authority signals also. If you're in New Jersey, are you in New Jersey directories, local directory? Are you a member of Chamber of Commerce? Are you in NPMA or NJPMA listings? Do you have local sponsorships? Do you have local news mentions? Do you have any local PR work? And website conversion. So it's very technical things, but fast mobile website, click the call buttons, service area schemas, local business structure data. If you wrap up, Google Maps, reviews, local content, authority, and behavior signals. I'm not going to go deep down right now, but Gemini would say the same thing to you. Review velocity, cluster specific landing page, tap to call to action, speed is king, FAQ schema. We will come to that point, FAQ schema, frequent asked questions, local authority and citations. So does that make sense? Is there anything that you would like to say to me, like, okay, we got this, I'm gonna implement this after that webinar? Is there anything, a quick implementation you think after the webinar? Okay, let me also share my screen, go back to the presentation also. So we talk about this. Can you see my presentation back? Okay, great. So I tested, we are not in results, Mark says, and Hazel say yes, Heather says yes. Great, guys, I like it. So you're still with me. I feel like I'm talking too much, and so talking by myself. Thank you very much for your interactive conversations. So I gave you like 2 minutes. We did it together, and I want to do a little bit of reverse engineering also. And by the way, if you're not showing up, never in map results or never in ChatGPT results, we can do that for you complimentary. We have developed some professional tools now. Our team's been working hard on this, where we can do this analysis for you. And so if you're interested, completely free of charge. So if you go to Digital Karma, book a call, give us some details, give us your website, give us your phone number, give us kind of like what your service area is, and we will do that analysis and we'll come to a meeting live with you and show you, here's how you come up in all these different engines. And more importantly, here is why, and here are some different things you can change in order to move up the results. And again, if you'd like us to shortcut that for you, give you a full assessment of that, and you can go to digitalkarma.com/book a call. Oh, thank you, Heather. Definitely taking notes. This is fascinating. I'm not sure if I'm spelling your name, Swan. For mosquito control, I show up first, but tick control, and I show up third. Amazing. So you have been doing a great job then. Okay, all right. So let's get into the strategy here. So I'm going to show you more example as we go. What is the secret formula for getting ranked? And I'm going to lead off by saying specifically as it relates to AI, there is no magic. By the way, there is no magic answer here. Nobody knows. Anybody that claims they got to press the bango button to have you come up on ChatGPT or Perplexity or Cloud, they're making it up, right? Because this is all brand new and we're all just testing it. All of the agencies, we're all just trying to figure out what is working. And so I'm going to share what we are seeing based on most of our clients coming up really well in these platforms right now. But I can't promise you what is going to happen in 6 months, in a year. So it changes sometimes daily, sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly. Thanks God, some of the things are changing yearly. But okay, number one, first and foremost is to answer questions. What do you mean with that? So this is a secret sauce because your prospects, your customers are going into these answer engines, and it's called an answer engine because they're asking questions that they need information and answers to. And so you want to answer the questions, right? So whatever those questions are, you want to incorporate them into your website with proper schema, with proper formatting, so that the engines can find the answer, right? And a lot of them are crawling Google, and Google is then displaying that information to those answers. So you want to answer the questions. A great place to figure out what is that your customers are asking. If you have ever been like, we do a lot of things, but I don't know exactly what that would be. But if you go to answerthepublic.com, I'm going to put that in the chat also. This is a great tool. It's a great website. Okay. So if you go to Answer the Public, you can put in pretty much any term. So these are the questions, by the way. We put on which page is it? Mosquito. What is the best thing to keep mosquitoes away? So each page has to have specific FAQ questions for each service. This is only for mosquitoes, so different questions for rodents, different questions for termites. And if you go to Answer the Public, you can put in pretty much any term and it will give you tons of variations of questions. And you can do that for all of your different services. So you type in pest control service. I type in pest control, okay? So it gave me all the answers for AI, all the question types that people are asking for AI in AI models and in search engines, in social media. And if you are selling something about pest control, also for e-commerce. So let's read this. Affordable pest control services for reviews of eco-friendly pest control, how to schedule a termite inspection service. You can write mosquito control, you can write rodent control, you can write termite or bed bug. So you will have it, Answer the Public, you will have different kinds of questions and you got the most frequently asked question for different platforms. And you can drill down even deeper and the companies that wind up ranking best in search that get the most traffic that are now coming up in the answer engines are the ones that are most diligently answering those questions. Well, I can change this. Let's see. And they are answering them in a couple of different modalities. The easiest modality is text, like I just showed you. So text information for each service. So this is the text version. Other modalities, so we get used to the text, okay? And we put these texts into an FAQ section on our website, and then we put them with FAQ schema. We will also come to that point. What is an FAQ schema or what is a schema validate? And sometimes people are asking to me, well, would you recommend Answer the Public over ChatGPT? I always like to Answer the Public more because the way that it structures the information on Answer the Public is a little cleaner and it is a bit easier. And you can ask the same question to ChatGPT or Perplexity or Claude, and we will come up with a great series of questions. But for me, it's more clean on Answer the Public. So we want to do it these questions in the text. We want to do it in the image, and we also want to do it with video. So you can use 3 types of modalities for questions: text, image, and video. And video also helps your regular classic SEO because video means on your web page, if you embed videos from YouTube to your website and then visitors start watching your video, that means they are spending more time on your website and Google ranks the websites better if visitors stay on these websites more. So how much time the visitors spend on your website affects your ranking. Also, I just show you Titan Pest Control. And I'm going to also pull up Optimum Pest Control. I just show you, let's see. I want to show you also how we structure the questions, their website. This is Titan. So I just show you the frequent asked questions for mosquitoes. Let's go to termites. You can see my screen, right? Okay, good. So you can see my Google Chrome. So here we have questions for frequent asked question for termites. Each service, we have these frequent asked questions because we want to pop up on top for these questions when somebody is looking for deep knowledge. And so we also got visuals here. Visuals are very important. It also shows image part on Google. So we have termite pictures, and also, let's see, it would be good here. So we also take information from these images, both Google and search engines. And also it's good that to write alt text to this image so all bots can read these images. And also, and one tool I want to show you is Schema Validator. What is it? I have been telling you, you should have your FAQs, but you should have these FAQs put on your website with a Schema Validator. What is a Schema Validator? So Schema Validator is one tool you can pull up if you ever, the bots technically can read all these. It helps you read bots easily, all these frequently asked questions. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time this get too technical, but that's the key. We want to answer the questions in a variety of formats. So that is one thing. So there is a Schema Validator website. Okay, so this is a termite page for this. Let's check if they have the right schemas. So it has not only FAQ schema, it also has service. So each service page has to have a schema. So service is termite control. And also each FAQ on your web page should be loaded on your web page with a schema. So here we go. We have all the questions for termite on, and it is validated by schema.org. I don't know. What do you think about it? Is it a little bit complicated or does that make sense? Okay. So nobody writes. So I think everything is so clear. I'm learning a lot today. Elisa, thank you very much. All right. And so number 2 is, let me back to my presentation. Number 2 is become the authority. Okay. Let's put it here. What does it mean? So we want to make sure that our pest control company is the authority in our market, in our service area. And we do that by publishing in the places that Google looks to, and these other engines look to as where authority organizations post. And so first and foremost would be YouTube. I say the first search website on the internet is Google. The second one is YouTube. So if you are not loading up YouTube videos with answers to questions and with information about your organization, we are leaving a big opportunity on the table. So when I like this example very much because I want to show 3 different things here, okay? YouTube was always there. YouTube has been very important for also search engine optimization. Now it's very important for also answer engine optimization. What I'm trying to say is video are very important for different reasons. First of all, it's the second biggest platform, YouTube. So also ChatGPT takes information from YouTube. Google takes information from YouTube. Second one is, it doesn't have to be a very professional video. Look at this video. This is my customer. I didn't do anything for this video. It's a 1-minute video and 1 minute 15 seconds. And they post this video 3 years ago because none of their competitors in the area, okay, they load anything on YouTube. When somebody writes pest control close to New Jersey, you can try it by yourself. They show up on top. Yes, there is this working, but it's sponsored. It's not organic. So what I'm trying to say is it doesn't have to be very professional. It doesn't have to be long. It should be about your company and it should be posted on YouTube. And if you embed that video to your website, it will also, I just mentioned you, it will also affect your search engine optimization ranking because when people start watching the video on your website, that means they're spending more time on your website. And if they spend more time on your website, it will rank you better on search engine results. And then as we answer questions and we put our content, we want to make sure we are not just blogging in a vacuum. Ideally, we are creating content that we can then distribute to online news sites and PR sites. So that passes more authority back to our website, passes more authority back to the particular piece of content. So these are some of the PR work we share for our customers. I think this is for optimum pest control. First one is Cooperative Grain and Supply website. Second one is Daily American website. This is NorthJersey.com. So Titan is in North Jersey. So having a signal from a website, which is a local one, North Jersey, a link to the Titan Pest Control website creates an authority. This is Times Herald also. So these are all the places one of those posts got picked up. And where you can see the actual post, it is linking back to their company. It's also linking back to the specific pest control service page. You can do these press works for termite control, rodent control, and you can make an authority on these specific services in your local area. The link is pointing back to the right page on their site. And the other thing we can do is also videos and news releases that actually pass authority back to our website. And what is interesting is that there is like probably the most cutting edge search on AI results and the large language models and the information they post in this website called Profound. And Profound has been doing literally millions of search on these engines and looking at the sources behind why they gave that result, why they recommended that answer or the particular company. And what they found is predominantly they are looking at the public user-generated content websites. And so what are those? Here comes Quora, Reddit, Tumblr. Reddit predominantly is the first. Number one, most reference is Reddit. So Reddit is people ask questions and then people answer questions on Reddit. So there is no reason that you should not, or somebody on your team, or the company you work with shouldn't be looking for those questions, answering them on your behalf, which is going to pass authority back to you and your brand entity. A couple of days ago, while working on this presentation and workshop, I just go and check. I have a Reddit account for almost 10 years. I just check and what is the best pest control company in Long Island, New York. And Optimum Pest Control is our customer, is in Long Island, New York. And I see some of the answers and I just wrote there some information about Long Island, Optimum Pest Control. They are in Long Island over 30 years. They are providing these services, a locally owned family company. So I just made a comment to a question in a group chat, which is about Long Island, to somebody's question. So the smaller versions of that are also Reddit, Quora, Tumblr, and we see also LinkedIn also coming into play on these as well. And so we want to make sure we are entering the conversation and building your authority and the authority of the organization and the owner of the organization to pass that authority back for those types of results. And then we have number 3. I think it is as much as important as number 1 and number 2, website optimization. So, like the website, we do on the website, how we structure the content makes a really big difference. And so the new search everywhere optimization formula is pretty simple. As I figure out what is the most important keywords are based on your services, based on your service area, based on your search volume. You can use tools like Google Keyword Tool, WordStreams, Fightful, Google Ads to figure out what those keywords are. And again, if you schedule a time with us, we have got this data, like we look at this data day in and day out. So we have a very huge knowledge on which keywords are ranking and come up. We can really contextualize it based on your market, tell you what those most important keywords are. And then you want to set up a great website with unique page targeting each of those keywords where there is keyword permutations so that we can come up And really, we do that by having a page for each of your services, page for each of the cities that you operate in, not just your main city, but the surrounding cities or towns as well. And then answer the common questions using text, using image, using video, and proper schemas. And I know the video I get some pushback on because it feels like work when you have got compensated technicians in the field that are doing this work every single day. We just need you to put a process in a place where the technician starts to document what is just happening in the field. And I don't think all of your technicians, if you got like 2, 3, 5, 10 technicians, I don't think all 5 of them are going to do it ever. But we can put a super tech in play. Look, like you have a technician, Johnny, is really confident. He likes to do videos. Maybe he's young. He's Generation Z. And we're going to make him our super tech and he's going to get paid a little bit extra every time he shoots a video in the field and just talk about the job. Talk about the problem that was out there. Talk about why the company chose the customer, chose you versus the competition, and get that loaded into the website with proper schema also. There's also a different schema when you load videos on your website in a transcript, what was happened, to turn it into an actual rich piece of content that will separate you by miles from the competition. And then we have to optimize the website for user experience, not just for the keywords and for the data, but what is the experience when someone gets there? Are they clicking around? Are they submitting something? Are they staying on the website? And how could you make them staying on the website? Are they immediately bouncing back? And so things you want to look at, there are your site speed, your core vitals, and that all plays heavily into how well optimized your website is. And then we have to optimize on which page, on page SEO, which is proper title text, heading text, meta description, schema on the website. And we got to build authority, right? And that's building links, building citations, building online reviews, getting these references on these user-generated content sites and track the results. So this is the new SEO formula for your website. Technical, on-page, off-page, and the experience when somebody visits your page. The ranking factors that we are seeing was some of them are technical, and there is this technical stuff we have to do that if you get a decent web developer, if you get a decent web team, they are thinking about the foundation of the site, indexing, do you have any broken links, 300 zero codes, structured data, hosting speed, SSL certificates, robotics, TXTs, site maps. So that's your technical. Then you got your on-page SEO, and which is the page topical relevance. We are taking your pest control terms and we are doing all of your pest control services and we are interlinking them. So we are not only creating pages for specific service terms or locations, we are also interlinking them. So each page on your website should be interlinked. And then we are taking all of our drain specific stuff and we are interlinking it. And the main page Pest gets is authority from the subpages also, which are getting their authority from the citations and the content that we are syndicating out. And we got our titles and we got our hierarchy, like heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. And we got our keyword density, which is like there is a density volume. So there should be some wording amount on your page and like your content length and how well we are answering questions and our image optimization. So this is all on page when we are talking about website. And there is off-page stuff, backlinks, mentions, social popularity, likes, follows, shares, citations, PR, syndications, the whole 9 yards. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of companies have decent technical, decent on-page, not a lot of, let's say, some, because I see a lot of companies also lack of technical and on-page SEO and maybe somewhat solid off-page. But the tiebreaker is going to go to trust and authority. All other things being equal, this building authority and trust is like they've got page, they've got all other stuff. It's going to show you expertise, your trust, your authority. And that's really where you win the day in today's marketplace. And so that's where you have to focus. So that's the website component. And the fourth one is advanced SEO, AI SEO strategies, okay? If you are like going to level deeper on this stuff, the main answer engines that people are searching on are going to search on into the immediate future. So number one is Google AI reviews. We already talked about it. That's people actually searching Google, but looking directly at the overview instead of the results. And then ChatGPT. Grok, I think, is going to catch up as they have already made some massive strides. Perplexity and Claude. Claude is really good for coding. So home service industry is not there much. And as a data specifically for AI reviews, because I think that's the number one priority, that's the first priority. So what are the sources that it is referencing? It is referencing Reddit. It is referencing YouTube. It is referencing Quora. It's referencing now LinkedIn. So number one is Reddit. Believe it or not, Google not referencing their Google property YouTube. So Reddit is always up to YouTube when it comes to check Google AI review. And if you think about 80 to 20 principle and you focus on this portion of the pie, you're going to have yourself in a great place to be recommended in the AI overviews. From there, we got ChatGPT, which is, my mind, is the second most search generated engine. And ChatGPT is heavily weighting. And Wikipedia, which doesn't really play too much in the home services game. Reddit, very big opportunity also in ChatGPT, and then these other sites. But it's interesting that ChatGPT is so heavily weighted depending on Wikipedia for its results. But for home service industry, if you want to rank on ChatGPT, you need to work on that Reddit pie. So we found looking specifically for home services and really drilling down our clients, and the ones that come up recommended for the most important keywords and the ones that don't. The key criteria that we are seeking when we ask it, why did you select this company and what I need to do in order to come up in this result? These are the top 7 criteria. Number one is customer ratings and reviews. And at the end of the day, if we got more Google reviews, got more Yelp reviews, we got more reviews across other platforms, we are going to have a higher probability of coming up in those results. So that's the number one thing that ChatGPT says, why it recommended these companies. I think we don't want to just play Google like for the last 10 years. It's all been, let's get the Google review, but let's drive for the Google review because we know that's where the search volume happens. But don't put all of your eggs into Google basket. Yelp, House, and AngelList, you can also work, and Facebook reviews, you can also work on these. Number 2 is they're saying is years in business. There's nothing much we can do about that, right? We have been in business how many years? However, how many years we have been in business, but that's a really important factor. Even how many years your website is there is an important factor. But like I say, there's nothing much we can do about that. Number 3 is service range. Are they full service? Do you have emergency? Do they have after hours? Bonus points for other services like wildlife service, termite treatment, and make them feel like one-stop shop. Number 4 is emergency availability. So are they available 24/7 or are they only work for limited hours? Number 5 is local presence. Focus on presence based on the actual area where you are based. I'm not only talking about digitally. Some of you guys doing nonprofit jobs, some of you like to be more physically in the community, like supporting your local soccer team, supporting a local school. These are also very important to be locally present because each collaboration you make with the community also goes to your website as an authority. Number 6 is professional website like strong on-page and off-page optimization, which is what I was just talking about. Number 7 is proper certifications and licenses. Also local nominations. If you are a local company and they pick you the best pest control company in XYZ city, share it on your webpage, share it on your Google My Business. As a post, there is an option on Google Maps account where you can post your events, your local work, community work, nominations, licenses, everything, services. So these are some of the top criteria for coming up in ChatGPT. And also perplexity citation patterns, which again for home services isn't nearly as, I think, high on the radar as the other two, but you got also Reddit here, you got YouTube here, like that is it. And like just that same thing you are doing to build your authority platform for AI overviews and ChatGPT. And if you are thinking about the 80 to 20 principle, they're also paying attention to Yelp, which is, I think, is interesting. Also LinkedIn. Those are other platforms you want to pay attention to. So specific to those generative engines, what we want to do is again. So clearly answer your questions, right? Like you're trying to solve somebody's problem, answering in a variety of formats, which means we are doing video, we are doing text, and we are doing images, and we can make infographics and graphics that really what good as well structure, the headings and the bullet points. So it's not just text, right? You have to have headings. You have to have heading 1, heading 2. So hierarchy, you can have tables. The better you can structure the content to feed it to those AI engines, the better they can consume better and really pass you the credit for it. Use first-party data and expertise, so you're not just copying and pasting or regenerating, but you're actually speaking from in the world trenches, content, and experience. Get mentioned and cited. And again, this is being referenced in Reddit, being referenced on LinkedIn, being referenced on these public, like PR websites and local online magazines, local newspapers, news sites, and things like that. So feed content into the tools. So you can actually ask a question from ChatGPT and say, hey, why do you think about this company? Or, hey, I really like that company, and recommend yourself. Yeah, ask that question. Recommend yourself. And that, I don't know, that's actually going to drive massive results, but couldn't hurt. You are giving, you are trying or it on the information if you wanted to know. And in a nutshell, so let's make it a little bit more easier for you. We got on page SEO. I think Google Maps optimization is still massively important because for the most part, ChatGPT should be telling you it's pulling from Google Maps for the results, and we are seeing. And ongoing content, we want to push new content through a syndication signal engine on a consistent basis. And we got to build up expertise, authority, and trust. And I've been in digital marketing for the last 25 years. So I started working in marketing after college, and now you know my age, I guess. And when I started working in marketing at my 20s, there was a term, content is the king. And yes, content still is the king. So consistent content on different channels pulls you up on rankings. So we are building links, we are building citations, we are doing map embeds, we are doing video embeds, and we are doing fresh content on a consistent basis. So this is the simplified version of what we have already talked about. So we have the workbook. Let me share it on the chat again. Here's the workbook link. So check it after the webinar and see how you show up. And again, you can get more details. We have a list of most commonly searched pest control keywords, also commonly searched wildlife control keywords, and AI also search terms. But we will show also what I would recommend, schedule a time and we'll do the analysis for you. We'll give you the list. We will show you where you're coming up and give you some information on how we could better. If you want to take us up on that, you can go to digitalkarma.com/book a call. I'm also sharing this here. And I'm going to do one more last example. You can also have this keyword list from the link. Let's copy that too. Okay. I think Hazel already shared it with you. I'm going to do one more example. So we talk about the numbers for Titan Pest Control. Again, if you search Optimum Pest Control, you can see we come up in organic results for Google. So Larchmont Pest Control. So I'm looking for Larchmont, New York. It's in Long Island. So they come up on first. And what we are doing with them is also, I'm looking for a pest control company in Larchmont, New York. Who would you recommend? So they recommend best local choice Optimum Pest Control. You see, they are taking this address data, ChatGPT from Mapcase, which is a listing, and also from website. Also these details from the websites. And again, if we drill down on the data, they are investing $9,000 per month, including Google Ads, including search engine optimization, including agency fee that they are paying to us. So they track like 170 leads. And if you divide that, it's 15.60 per lead. And a lot of that coming from organic results, organic calls, organic web forms. So what does it mean? Google AI reviews, Google search result, answer engine optimization. That means a lot of these leads are coming from organic results. They have all FAQs for each service. They have a service page for each service. They have a county page for each. They have borough, let's say, because this is in New York, and also cities on these counties like in Westchester or Long Island. They also have on-page optimization, great site speed, answering the most frequent questions. That's the key. This is all I can say for today. I'm sure 6 months later, everything will be different. And if you have any questions or follow-up to us, let me know. So is there any question? I can have some questions. Oh, Hazel already shared the keyword list. Do you have any questions? So I say, thank you so much for the information. I learned so much. What's the average conversion rate of those lists? Good question. With this specific customer, so for this 570, I think I have the numbers. Let me take a look at the last month's presentation. Last month was in your website ready for 2026. We did a work with that customer because we don't see normally how many of these leads they convert. Well, let's see. I have that specific month because I use it on other workshop last month. Actually, it depends on your SDR at the office. But I have the numbers for this specific case. I want to share it with you. Okay. I have these results. So they convert 40% of these leads. But it really depends on, so in this case, they convert 40% of these leads and to book jobs. So they are in that area, Long Island, their initial service ticket is 350. So it's like, so how many leads? Let's say 40%, 570 times 70% is 228 book jobs. So initial ticket is 350, okay? So that means $79,000. No, 80 almost. So they spend like 9,000 that month. 80 they get revenue, okay? So divided 9,000. So it's like 9 eternal invest, but it doesn't end there. I know they convert all these one-time jobs to recurring customers. So They also convert 70% of these one-time jobs to recurring customer. So that means additional revenue. And their yearly service fees between first year is 800, second year is 700. So there's also return on investment when you convert these one-time jobs to recurring customers. And will we be getting a recording of this meeting? Yes, you will. We will have the replay. It will be sent by email. And Daniel says, thank you so much. This was helpful. One question. Majority of our reviews are on home stars. Very few in comparison on Google. Do you think this? Yes, this is SEO because Google is still the king. You should work on this. There are some great softwares, review generating softwares. Book with me. I will tell you more details about how you can generate more Google reviews. I really would like to spend more time on it again. Heather says, sure. You will have the replay and you can ask any questions to me. Another question regarding content. Is there an AI that can create animated content? Yes, you can do that. I don't know personally how to do that, but there's someone in the team who does these things. Heather say this was a great presentation. If we didn't talk, it's likely because we are so engaged and didn't want to miss anything. Thank you very much, guys. Just let me know if you need more help. Just book an appointment with me. I will be on training Monday and Tuesday for digital marketing, but I'll be available after Tuesday. And jump into the workbook. Feel free to schedule a time and we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you very much and wish you a great day.